Welcome back. I hope you learned, gained, and enjoyed that last segment as much as I did with the schools. We are blessed to be involved with those kinds of people. Now, you're going to meet some other good people today, and I'm always saying what a wonderful time I have here to be able to sit and have discourse and talk about and learn. We're going to take, this is probably the regular time that I would normally talk to the Y. And what's your name?
My name is Kevin McAlexander.
That's what I thought. I thought maybe
you got it right. Yeah.
Kevin McAlexander.
Not slipping a notch, not at all.
All right. Well, I know who this man is with you, but we're going to talk YMCA for just a minute, and then to whet your appetite. I love that word. I like the H in it. Whet your appetite. We're going to go over to the hospital. We're going to go to Carilion in just a minute. And I'm going to brag on them because I was at a Carilion function last night. I have to tell you about that. Sir, would you introduce this gentleman to your left, please?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. This is James B. Curry, Jim to his friends and co-workers usually, right? And he is our new CEO, Executive Director at the Franklin County YMCA. And he's here today to talk about everything Y.
I don't know.
You've been saving that one, haven't you, Dick?
You brought him. Why?
Sorry, talk about everything YMCA. To be more specific, Franklin County Family YMCA.
Devil makes me do that. I don't understand it either. I am pleased to see you, and yes, I did know you when you came in. I frankly did not connect, but now I have, and I'm glad that you came down in your position here. And I guess my first question, Mr. Curry, Mr. James B. Curry, CEO of the YMCA, the Franklin County Family YMCA. How are we doing? I mean, I want to get to the quick, That is a function of up and down and moving and all the time changing, but all the time doing and growing, and you just can't kind of get a picture. May I look to you if you would like to introduce yourself a little bit and then get into that? I'd love to hear it.
Sure. Let me answer the heart of your question first, though.
Okay.
The YMCA is a turnaround, and as a turnaround, we are struggling with some problems that we've inherited or developed over the last 15 years. But having said that, we're making good progress, Dick. We have launched a program about new directions, so a lot of new things are going on at the Y. And those items that we're putting in place are things that we think will attract more of the market, more of the community to the Y. We're making good progress, but it will take a while to correct the problems that we have inherited or created for ourselves over the last 15 years.
Is it a problem of needing more, perhaps membership, et cetera, which is a kind of a typical problem no matter where you go, or is it a function within of growing the programs, or are we dealing with both?
No, you're actually dealing with a complex problem. The first part is exactly what you talked about. We have about 1,600, a little bit north of 1,600 members here in Rocky Mount, a little south of 1,700 members up at our Ferrum facility. We have about 500 members at our Link facility. So your first question is exactly in the middle of the target. The main challenge is to build the membership and keep that membership steady. When people come and go from the Y, that changes our revenue flow, and that makes it a little bit more difficult to plan and manage the business itself. The other part of it is making sure that the programs that we have are relevant for the market. Sometimes that relevancy relates to elderly, sometimes it's youth, sometimes it's handicap. And so making sure our programs are exactly what the community needs is a big part of what we are doing. The good part of the YMCA organization is that I have some terrific people behind me. The leadership issues that relate to people that were in my position earlier are the problem, not the Kevin McAlexanders or any of the rest. I've got good folks behind me.
You think he's all right? Huh?
I do.
All right. I know that. I agree with you. And I like to tease him, but he's a good guy. And very strong in his beliefs about the why. And I think Andrea is another one. And the people now at Ferrum, these are people that have very strong. How do you find that functioning as you deal with your cohorts out there? Everybody feels very strongly about what's going on. Am I correct?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Everybody, really, we just had a staff meeting yesterday, and sitting around talking with the staff, and the members too, not just staff, but members really believe in what the YMCA's mission is.
Okay.
We offer these health and wellness programs to the community. We offer childcare to the community, which is an amazing, amazing benefit. School, they do a fantastic job. We were just hearing about all the great special needs programs they have. All the great activities that the kids get to do in the school system, but school's over at what, 3:30? Where do kids go when parents work till 5, 6 o'clock at night? Well, they come to the Y, and it's a safe place. It's a place where they get a chance to get a snack, to do their homework, or if they're wanting to play some basketball or get swim lessons. So we really fill not only the health and wellness, niche for the community, for families, but we also provide that absolutely necessary service of those child care services, which really means a lot to the community.
I used to be a banker a long time ago. Seems like in another lifetime, but and ran measurably the finest bank in the world. Why be bashful? That's a lot of people out there say you're crazy, but no, good people, great place. And was involved in the very beginnings of this. And matter of fact, Abe came to me and said, I want you to come down and sit and talk. And about a bunch of us, no need to go into it, Mr. Essig was one of the main drivers, and trying to think of the various places we met, which were very interesting offices and locations and homes and so forth, and created something. And from there it grew. And I just think that a firm guidance, a firm leader, and a firm direction is really covering what we have. And I'm pleased that you're there, and I think that it's going to be a major strength going forward for many years. It has grown. I listened to you say we can be bigger and we are going to get better, and as you start ticking off the numbers of 3,000 or 4,000 members or whatever that might be, your aspirations are to make it even bigger?
Absolutely. Financial stability is obviously my first aspiration here, but also more relevant for the community. I want the YMCA to be the place that people think about first when they have something that relates to child care, whether it is the preschool side or the before or after school or summer camp, or whether it's fitness, or whether it's rehab, or whether it's obesity or elderly. We have a facility that I think can play a very important part in our community and does and should continue to do that.
Where are you from, sir?
Originally from Chicago.
Chicago. See, is that that is in this country, isn't it? Okay.
Well, it depends on whether you measure it on snowfall or not.
Somewhere out west or Midwest. Anyway.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's neat. Well, as I said, very seriously, I like the cut of your jib, and I have had a lot of people that, boy, that's an old saying I haven't used in a long time. That means he's okay, folks. But it's interesting because I'm seeing and hearing very happy people come in here and talk about it. People that decide to go out into 20-degree water and swim.
Very successful event, too, by the way.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
It's nuts. But they like it. What can I say? And they still come up smiling. And then there are more people. And I guess this is what you're trying to breed, this success,
Absolutely.
and then the feel of this is a good place to be.
That's right. And that's
uh,
true for all ages.
And you have a blow-up slide one Sunday afternoon in the month, in the one in Rocky Mount. And I asked somebody that had been there, and they said, "Wow, kids have a good time." And I said, "You really think that's important?" Yeah, they can't wait for that day.
We already have 14 parties that have either been held or booked to, revolving around birthday parties and bar mitzvahs and that sort of thing with the slide.
Rest my case. Yeah, I think these people are kidding me, but they're not. They're serious. And I think he's a little strange, but he is. but
Dick
he
knows me very well, actually.
but he feels from the heart and works towards these things, whatever they might be, and to have somebody that is doing it. And I tease Andrea because I think she's a good one. And up at Ferrum, to have that situation in 3 areas of the county, I congratulate you, and I'm pleased to have you here so people can see who is holding this thing at a very high level. And you will do that, I know, and that's great. I compliment you for that, because it's developing this is a pretty special place, kind of, and I think that's something that it's not just we're going to have a babysitter, or we're going to run down here, or we're going to get that, or we're going to get this. This is something important to the community, and that's maybe something that I'm seeing, and if I may compliment you on that.
Thank you. We are, I think, a very important part of the community, and one of the facts that I learned that the community doesn't really realize is that we have a Lifeline Scholarship program to help those folks that can't afford, for instance, for our child care, can't afford to pay for this child care. We make up that difference. And we do that for elderly, we do it for folks in rehab, we do it for returning military veterans, what have you. That's an important part of being part of the community.
If I was to ask you, what do you enjoy most as a person, as you either look at yourself or you see people reacting, what's the best part of what goes on at the Y?
Well, for me personally, this is a chance to take my turnaround experience and growth initiative experience and give something back to the community.
Turnaround initiative growth experience. Now, explain.
In prior roles, I have turned businesses around. That means businesses that are underperforming.
Okay.
I've done that. I've also led growth initiatives, both for existing businesses as well as brand new startups. And so my focus is about how to make a business better.
Yes.
And I've done that in the for-profit world consistently. But to your question, this is fun for me because I'm taking that experience and those skills and using it to benefit a community, not just the YMCA.
It's great to have someone in-house that has that experience, because us as staff will come up with an idea and he goes, "That's a great idea. Let's make it better." And it really gives us the opportunity and the encouragement we need to really put on events like Polar Plunge, or we did our Y Resolve run, which was our first 5K, 10K run, or 10-mile run out of the YMCA here in Rocky Mount, and it was a huge success. We had 70 runners, for a first-year event.
In the middle of winter,
yeah, absolutely,
in cold weather. I just went out once and peeked to see if they really were going to do that.
Hey, what was
funny?
funny?
I said, "Where's the ambulance?" But no, everybody was having a good time.
And what was great about that run too is that people came to us and told us how much they liked that it was a difficult run. They said they loved that it was a challenging run, and that's fantastic for us, because we thought, oh my gosh, is this going to be too hard? No, the runner said, bring it on. We loved it. We had a great time. Make it harder next time.
And the interesting twist is if you also look at what Kevin's talking about in the context of our glacier plunge, who would ever guess you get 65 to 70 people standing on the beach in bitter cold weather with the wind blowing, some of those folks playing beach volleyball, and then about 20 of them jumping in the water.
Oh, I can tell you what they are, but I'm not going to insult them, but because I've told them to their face.
Sure.
Oh my goodness, never mind.
I mean,
yeah,
what-
you're right. I don't know where do you get them.
What I could say is that they support the Y's cause. You know, it was a fundraiser for the Y, and they said, you know, that's just crazy enough to work. Helping the community, that's just crazy enough to work. So.
And people that were there, I said, really, you liked it? Yeah.
Oh, we really had a great time.
And it was we had a good time, so you were.
Absolutely.
All right.
I was absolutely out there. I wasn't in the water.
All right.
At my age, you don't do that.
I agree.
You know, and who had the most fun was actually there was a dog that got in the water as well. We have photographs of the event just as you walk in the front door of the Rocky Mount Y on the left there, and there's the dog just jumping in the water like it's not cold at all. He's having the best time out of anybody there. So even the dogs in the community are supporting the Y these days. So it's really a great thing to see the support. So
No, I think that it's interesting because we are talking about something that we are looking at as a success. Now, a growing success, a getting better than success to great success, etc., as you put it. And yes, I think that your approach to it is a good one, and I appreciate that, and I compliment you on that because that's, you know, it's like if I would venture to say all that you have been involved in was for a purpose. And now you're going to take something like this and follow the record that you had in another life. And I think you're having a good time while you're doing it.
I'm having a great time. It really is fun.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. Every day I went to work, I smiled. I had fun, you know, and people used to tell me that they didn't understand. I said, look, don't enjoy your work. Don't appreciate your work. I said, have fun. If you're not having fun, you're not having a ball, talking to great people, doing good things, then go do something else.
And it's funny, I get razzed all the time at the YMCA here in Rocky Mount because it takes me about a half an hour to get from the front door to my office upstairs. And it's not that long a walk, but it's a good chance to meet people that are members, meet people that are either struggling with age, obesity, or what have you, and get to know what's important to them. And I think in this organization, since we're a service-based organization, understanding their feedback is really critical.
Do you care to comment on the close involvement between Parks and Rec and the county and the medical people and the YMCA and everything, that there is now much more of a blend? And is this a good thing? And what's your take on it? I'm asking that. It's a loaded question because half a dozen people have asked me, "How's that doing?" And of course, I'm saying go down there and see. There's a lot of people that are smiling, but
I'm actually delighted you asked me that question because it is very high on my list in terms of a priority. The relationship I'm building with the county and Rick Huff, the relationships that we are starting with Mark Church, who is just in here, the relationships that we are working on with the Sheriff's Department are different, very different for us, and they benefit everybody. We were with the sheriff yesterday working on a special fitness program for the sheriff's office. And if you think about what he is trying to accomplish, he's exactly right. The officers that are out in the field need to be more fit so that when they are riding the car, they can go from sitting to sprinting 100 or 200 yards. The same for the folks that are answering the phone for 911. They're under a great deal of stress with those calls, and they need a way to release that stress. From Mark Church's standpoint, he and I and Keith Pennington have been talking about a program to bring the kids back to the swim pool in order to learn. We used to have that program before 2007, 2008, and with the cutbacks due to the financial crisis, that program disappeared. And forgetting for a second that I'm the CEO of the Y, as a parent of 3 sons who somehow got much older, 30,
Yeah.
28, and 24 before
It's
I
amazing,
realized it.
isn't it, how it happens?
I feel very strongly about making sure kids have that life skill of swimming so that they don't drown. And so I've been working very hard and diligently, both with Mark and with Keith, to find a way to bring that program back to our pools. And we have now tentatively agreed to do that next fall for either the 4th graders or the 5th graders. So I'm excited about
Wonderful,
that.
wonderful.
From the county standpoint, we're working on all sorts of things. You know, the uniqueness of being on the same street with both the Giroux Center as well as the county and the YMCA gives us an opportunity to build something that's different for the community. And we're working on ways to make that difference a benefit for the residents of Franklin County. So
Well,
I'm pretty excited about that.
What a good day I'm having, because of course from here I go to the hospital, the medical facility, and my good friend that keeps that on, that I very personally have thanked him and his staff for things for my family. And aren't you glad you live in Franklin County? You know,
Absolutely.
things are going well, and I'm appreciative of the fact that we have been able to blend in order to keep and then grow. Now see, it's just not a bailing out and a blending, it's growing and improving, and that's exactly what you're saying, and
Right.
I'm glad you're there, sir.
Thank you.
That
I'm
is
delighted to be here.
I could tell.
And Andrea at the lake would have my teeth if I didn't mention that we do have a Winterfest coming up. Carillion Clinic has helped sponsor.
Jump in whenever you feel.
Yeah, I'm going to just throw it right in there. We actually had scheduled it for the day that it snowed like 2 feet. So the Winterfest event was moved. It's going to be on my.
I'm sorry, I
easy over
dozed
there,
off.
easy
What were
now.
you saying?
I hadn't droned on that long. Come on. It's on March 8th, and to check out and get the information on it, go to the Smith Mountain Lakes Facebook page or the YMCA of Franklin County's web page. It's on the special event tab.
And what is the name of that special event?
It is Carillion Clinic Winterfest, and it's a 5K race as well as a 10-miler race. There's 2 races going on at the same time. If you don't want to run, that's totally great too, because it's a Winterfest event, so there'll be live music. I believe Barefoot West is playing, which is an excellent
Good
local
stuff.
group. Really good
Good
guys. The Sunken City Brewery is providing some refreshment as well.
Where is this?
It's going to be down in the Manita Smith Mountain Lake area. The race actually starts, I believe, at the Scrugg Firehouse, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And when approximately?
March 8th.
March 8th.
Get registered early though, because you do get a discount over race day registration. So definitely check that out. It's a good event.
And Kevin brings up a good point, Dick, and that is
I thought I would wait until he did.
You might be
got
waiting
there.
a while. I don't know.
he got there.
Go right ahead.
And that is, the YMCA is working on relationships with key market partners. And
right.
Carillion is a very important market partner for us for a lot of reasons. And so this won't be the first program or the only program that we're working on with Carillion. So we're
It's
excited.
a natural blend.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is. Who wants people healthy? Right?
Right.
Whatever it takes. What can I say? You be quiet. You've spoken enough. I'll give you the last word, sir, if you would care to. I am pleased to sit and see you again, Jim, and it's good to know that you are there, and I am seeing and hearing great things, and the blend that people were wondering about between the county and the schools and the hospital, et cetera, and the why and how that was going to work as the foreboding, oh my goodness, what does this mean, has gone out the window, and we are now better than ever. And a good steady hand at the helm. Thank you. And I'll give you the last word, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you, first of all, for inviting us today to be on your show. The Y plays a very important part in our county and also obviously in the town of Rocky Mount. And we are working very hard to make what we're doing more relevant with the goal of attracting more members and eventually attracting the sort of donors that can make a difference in our Y. So I invite everybody to come out and take a look at what we call our new directions, become a part of what we think is becoming a successful trend. I get a lot of phone calls and people stopping me and asking about, this or that program. And that's exciting because we want the Y to be, as I said at the beginning, really the center of the community. We want people to search us out, seek us out when they have a need that isn't been fulfilled. So thank you again for inviting us.
It's great to be able to shout from the rooftops. It's good to have everybody connect a face with the leader and what's happening. And it's just a good thing for the community. And to have the spread that we do now around the community is lots of smiling faces too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's good. And healthy smiling faces. So anyway, thank you for being here, and thank you for, and please come back.
I will.
You know, because, they drone on. I mean, they're all right. But when you say it, it's like, that's really going to happen now, so that's good.
I'd be delighted to.
All right, yeah, it would be good. It's nice to see you again. It's good to sit and talk. And I'm just very, very comfortable with what's going on. And it's not me that has to be comfortable. I don't mean that. Who cares? Well, maybe my grandchildren care or my wife, but that's it. But I do have a unique position of being able to see and avail myself or somebody in my, I have 26 grandchildren. So, I mean, I got lots of people out there, and every one of them tells grandpa and grandma. So but it's nice to be here, and it's nice to see what we're doing and to sit and deal with a very successful school system, a very successful YMCA that has now reached a point of being, if I would be so bold as to say, a much more, and that's not minimizing where it's been, but at this day, this is what we're concerned about, a very integral part of what happens. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us on. We really appreciate it. And I will say, like us on Facebook, check out our website, and please, please stop by. We'd love to have you come by and visit.
So saith, never mind. Good to be with these people. Isn't just, we are so fortunate to have something like this. And as you go back and think about its beginnings, wow, it's amazing. Pay attention, be involved. Now, what makes all this worthwhile? That is your very good health. And we're going to talk about that and some other things. We have the gentleman that leads us, and we have other people in to talk about Carilion Franklin Memorial Hospital, etc. So please stay where you are, because the etc. is where it's going to get you. I'll be back after these words from our sponsors.